Hi everyone, Kim here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. How are you? Here we go. Yes, we are live. Hi everyone. How you doing? Welcome to this week's live Oracle card readings. We are last quarter phase. So we're in February and it is the last quarter phase. So meaning that we'll have a new moon in about 7 days. We're in that phase, the tidying up phase is what I like to say the last quarter moon phase is like. It's not necessarily about starting anything new. It's about looking at the intentions that we set or the goals that we set at the beginning of the cycle and what is calling us to put more energy into. What do we need to complete? I know I've been working on my Reiki level 1 manual, so that's something that I am needing to get completed so I can go to the printers ready for teaching Reiki at the end of this month. So yeah, what is calling to you that you set the intention for at the beginning of the cycle that you can complete? Because when we complete projects, we complete our intentions, it gives us a confidence. It builds our confidence that we feel better about ourselves on this very subtle level. If we're constantly starting things and not completing, we don't get that full cycle of the experience of completion and feeling good that we achieved something. So what is it that you are feeling drawn to complete in these next 5 days or so before the dark of the moon? Pay attention to your intuition and what comes up for you there. The other thing that I wanted to focus in on today is a reminder of how powerful we each are and how powerful visualization is. So when we're wanting to create our future, which unless we're staying very stuck in the past, which I don't advise that, though there are times in our lives when, of course, something really big has happened and it takes us a while to process. I completely understand that. However, we want to be focusing more on our future, the future that we want to create, by spending time visualizing and writing out what is it that we want to create. And it doesn't actually have to be material things. It can be, who do you want to be? I want to feel lighter in my body. I want to feel more energized. I want to be more excited about life. I want to experience new things. So, creating a vision board, creating writing these things down in our journal so that we're putting these pictures out into the universe, because that's what the universe responds to. And what actually happens when we're putting these images out and these feelings and vibrations out into the universe, we are automatically healing our past. Because generally, say we've had a rough relationship in the past, well, we then will say, I want a relationship for my future that is an empowered person, it's, a mature person, whatever the criteria for you, which will be generally not what you had in the past. It automatically, by you looking at these things, it brings up the old energy of it in a very gentle way, and it automatically heals it. So what is it that you are wanting to create in your life? Just choose one thing that you would like to, what do you feel you need right now? What would you really like? If there were no limitations, and of course there actually aren't, but we put lots of limitations on ourselves, what is it that you would like to be creating for your, near future, the rest of this year, whatever that is for you? Let me welcome some people. Hey Barbara, nice to see you. Lovely, lovely. Hey Shailene, I liked your little comment. Yay, when I said I was going live. Great. Welcome, welcome. And for anybody that is watching the recording, welcome. Lovely to have you here. I know we had a new member this last week, so welcome. If you're watching the recording or if you're actually here live, I'm going to pull an overall card for everybody first of all, and then I'll get on and do some individual readings. So thinking about that question, what is it that you actually feel you need or want right now? Feel free to pop it up in the comments. Okay, so the card that's coming up is fear. And often that is something that can be holding us back. Fear that because we haven't had the experience of what we want before, that we might not be worthy. And just by having this human experience, you are worthy. I know that we've all had a lot of people in our lives or people in our lives that may have led us to believe a different story. But you are well worthy. There is absolutely nothing that you could have been or done in your past that would prevent you from being worthy. We are here to have a human experience, therefore we experience things that work and things that don't work, and we learn from all of those experiences. So please be kind to yourself and don't judge yourself. So honoring these fears, but allowing them to come to the light so that they're not holding us back from moving forward. And I'm thinking about, we're watching the Winter Olympics at the moment. My favorite, I love watching these, having been a winter sports mum. And I think about these athletes, and it's not that there's no fear there, it's that they feel that edge, and they do the preparation, they do the work, and then they take the leap, literally. So yeah, let that fear be not what stops you, but what allows you to motivate you to move forward, and be gentle with yourself in the process. All right, let's do a quick refresh and then we'll get on and do some individual. Oh, wow, you've answered this. Great. Shailene saying, I would love to create and publish a top-selling novel. Okay, beautiful. Do you know what the topic of that is? And maybe flesh that out a little bit more for yourself. I imagine that it's sharing something about your experience of the adversity that you've traversed, and make a start, have that intention out there. I'm thinking of somebody, I know it was Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul fame, and he had the cover, I believe it was Jack Canfield, I may be wrong, but I believe he had the cover of his book made up. So you could even draw it, and he put it over another book, and he had that sitting in a position that he saw it regularly, so that it motivated him to take some steps towards it. So we have the vision, we put the energy of it out there, but of course we've got to take some action on it. And as we take action, what I do know for sure is that the universe comes in behind us and supports that action, but we need to take the first step. So that's fantastic, Shailene. I wish you all the very best with that. And, baby steps, take a step as often as you feel that you're able to, but make a start and start to flesh that out. How exciting. I look forward to it. All right, Barbara. Let's pull a card for you, and then anybody else that's on here, pop a yes, please. I'm going to check on my phone too, because I know often I've missed some people. All right, Barbara, we've got action, and we've got, again, the reminder that this is fluid action. This is in-flow action, not action that's pushing. We don't want to get into that resistance space at all. This is about taking action that will allow us to be in flow, so that we're going with the flow of the energy. And often we can feel like something maybe needs to go faster than it actually does. Trust in the universe, trust in the perfection of the timing of everything. So I like to, I just use my exercise at the moment is, swimming in the pool. And when I get in the pool, I ask my body, what's your energy like today? How many laps do you think we can do today? And then I listen to the response of that, and then I go with that. So if I've got more energy, I do more laps. If I don't have as much energy, I'm not going to force myself just to achieve a number. I'm listening to my body. I'm listening to the action that is going to be best serving for my highest good. So that's a little example, but I think you get what I mean. All right, there you go. Yep, she gets what you mean. All right, beautiful. Shailene, let's pull a card for you. Okay, we've got abundance. Wow, nice. So abundance. When we think about abundance, it's about noticing first and foremost the abundance that we already have in our life. So stopping and feeling into fresh water, like take it down to, our fundamental needs. Roof over your head. Have you got a car to drive? You've got a job to go to. You've got money to buy groceries for yourself. Now, we might not have as much as we would like, and that's where we get to grow into that and bring more into our lives. But it's from having the appreciation. That's the energy that we want to be putting into the universe, the appreciation for what we already have. So what are you really grateful for? What abundance do you notice in your life at the moment, and what do you just absolutely love, and that you can almost get carried away with that feeling of gratitude and love for that, and spending more time in that energy. We're currently doing a Joe Dispenza meditation about abundance, and it's a really beautiful meditation. Of course, connecting in with the field and allowing ourselves to really feel into that gratitude and vibration of love, which of course brings more of that into our lives. So what are you feeling grateful for abundantly in your life right now? And again, keep focusing on, allow yourself to daydream about your book and how that might come about. Not that we need to figure out the how, that's not our business. But when you get really, I do have a connection that could potentially help you to get that, book written. So reach out when you feel that you're ready to take that step, and focusing on the abundance that you have in your life and that you would like to bring about in your life. Beautiful. Okay, who else have we got here today? So Barbara says, yes, I get it. Shailene's sharing that I'm currently doing a children's book called Echoes of Grandad, and that is in the middle of being published. Brilliant. That's fantastic. Congratulations. That's amazing. I love it. So allow that creative flow. That's amazing, Shailene. I'm really, really happy for you. That's absolutely beautiful. So really see and feel the abundance around that. Look what you've achieved already is incredible. So really allow yourself to feel proud of yourself, and grateful for all the universal support that's coming your way. Barbara says, I feel like you are saying listen to the whole mind-body connection. Beautiful. Absolutely. Listen to exactly. There's so many levels. We can either just be allowing our minds to be driving everything, but when we connect in with our body and really listen for what our body is saying, and there's harmony between the two, beautiful. That's a beautiful in-flow way to live life. So fantastic, really beautiful. All right. Let's see who else is here that would like a reading. I'm just going to, you're most welcome, Shailene. I'm just going to do a quick check on my phone because sometimes it doesn't always show up on my computer. Let me see if there's anybody else over on. Let me turn that way down. See if there's any other comments there. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. All right, I think I'm getting everybody there. I'm going to pull one more card for, and let's make this for anybody that's listening to the recording, whether that be here on Facebook or on YouTube. Let's allow this card to show itself. And it did, it jumped out. And it's beauty. Noticing the beauty of what is around us. Noticing nature and the trees and the beautiful music that moves us. The beautiful food that we have in our lives. What does beauty mean for you? And it's got very little to do with how we look. It's more about how we feel and what moves us that I believe is the true beauty. Being in nature, seeing beautiful scenery, listening to beautiful music, whatever it is for you. Delicious food, beautiful settings, whatever it is for you. What is beauty for you? Watching my beautiful granddaughter yesterday, we were having a blowing raspberries fun game, which was just hilarious, and it made me laugh, and she was laughing. She's 9 months and she's just divine. That, being very present in the moment with her, that's absolutely beauty in my life, and I get to do that on a very regular basis. So what is beauty for you? And allow yourself to prioritize that. Make beauty be a priority. Enjoying yourself in life, and it doesn't always have to cost a lot of money. Getting out this into nature, and there's beautiful spaces, and there's lots of opportunities. So that's the message for us today. I'm going to do one more refresh to see if there's anybody else that I have missed that would like a card. Let me do that now. And I think we've covered everybody today. Oh, good. Okay, well, as I say, we are in the completion cycle of the month, so let's do that completing process. Allow yourself to feel the achievement of completion. Be gentle always, and I look forward to connecting with you again next week. Lots of love, everybody. Bye for now.